All right, good morning, dear viewers. My name is Opero Isaac, a year 2 student pursuing Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering at Macquarie University. As you can see in the first slide here, my today's presentation is about artificial intelligence. And here we have formulated like two skyrocketing questions about artificial intelligence. First question says, can computer think? And the second question says, could we ever have a computer that is able to think? And here I will use AI-powered chatbot, that is LeafGuard, as my case study in context of Uganda agriculture. And I'm going to take one of the cereal crop, like maybe rice. Going forward, or is before, I know we have different perception about these two questions. It has been one of the most debating questions around the globe. But basing on my discovery, allow me to take you through what I generated. Basing on the first question, that can computer think? When we talk about computer thinking, I believe the answer is no. Why am I saying no? Thinking, like when we give an example of a human being think in a way that they relate to their awareness. They can create some memory and motion. Unlike computer, which only follow the rules which are programmed in it. For example, when we take a farmer operating a rice farm in maybe Lera district, he or she sees, when he or she sees a rice blast on a cluster, he relate to the past harvest, how much quantity of the harvest of food he or she will lose. But a computer cannot do this. Then you're going to the main argument. Why am I saying computer cannot really think? We know thinking is not all about data processing. As we are aware, computer only take the input, like the data which we feed it, and generate for you the output. For our case here, the leaf guard, it will upload for us, with the farmer will upload the leaf, the system will analyze it and classify as disease or healthy plant only. And maybe perhaps can suggest the best pesticide for the affected crops. Then, but for human being, thoughts is far, far beyond data processing. Human being can reason. What are the cause of these diseases? Like in the previous harvest, and can also put in some emotion, meaning he or she can conceptualize and generate a meaning, unlike computer, which uses only the rules, symbol, and syntax which are trained on. So that is our argument in summary. True thinking is not all about data processing, but is about reasoning, putting some emotion and generating the meaning, connecting ideas into the real world concern. I think that one also summarizes this case of leaf guard. Here I'll just talk about how the leaf guard operates. Here is a chatbot AI powered where a farmer will upload the leaf of the crop and the system will analyze and classify that this crop is suffering from. Maybe like for instance, we have maize stem borer. We also have like plant roots, and also can go ahead and suggest the possible or the best pesticide to bring the disease or even the pest. Because here we are centering on pests and diseases affecting our crops. And here, our leaf guard can generally generate for you the most accurate solution, though doing it unaware because it has been trained to do that. Meaning this LeafGuard AI-powered chatbot we are using today is just a tool. It's not a thinker. It doesn't think like the way we human beings do. Next slide. We are talking about school of thoughts. Remember, I highlighted at the beginning that this question of can computer think is one of the most debating questions across the globe in the field of computing and philosophy. Here we have some of the philosophers from several schools of thoughts. First one is John Sleeth, where he postulated Chinese room argument, and for him is centered on rules. He said following rules is not equivalent to, I hope you see this one, says it's not equivalent to understanding. And he gave an example that when you put a person in a room, perhaps the person doesn't know Chinese, and you give him or her a book written in English that he understands, and is able to interpret and do it in the way Chinese it's recommended. It's not, you can't draw a conclusion that the person has understood and can do this fully, but rather is just following a rule to come up with such a conclusion. Another school of thought was about this robot reply. Here, the robot said, like in the context of our leaf garden, that however much we innovate, however much we make this leaf guard, maybe like integrating with some sensor, giving some camera, where we shall even maybe give some drone, a flying drone, we move it across the field, like across our farm, it can detect for us such and such stuff. Like the pest and disease. Still, it will just be following the rules which have been trained on. It will not really think because they are just doing those things unaware. And last school of thought was Turing test, and the person behind it is Alan Turing. For him, he suggested that AI, here we are talking about the leaf guard, it just imitate what we human do, like imitating the human behavior. So imitation is not equals to, it's not equivalent to, doesn't in any way same as thought, because the human can think in various perspectives, unlike AI, which is just trained on certain purpose. So moving to another slide. Okay, so concluding that one, I strongly say computer lack understanding. They only imitate. Intentionally, computer cannot maybe suggest for itself that I'm going to do this and like that. Then consciousness, computer doesn't have that self-awareness. Definitely, imitation is not equivalent to true intelligence, which a human have. So that is done. We are going to our second question. Remember, we had two. And this second question says, can we ever have a computer that is able to think? Yeah. So this one asked us in a nearby future, due to the progress in technological advancement, will a computer reach a point and start thinking or reasoning like the way human do? Here we have two suggestions, like two parties. They are those one like the supporters of strong AI. For them, they say yes, that in future, like maybe in 2040, 2050, that computer will really think like the way human being do. But some critics can say like the opposite side. One of them is John Slits. It says computer will always remain symbol processor. To me, my view still remain firm that computer will just be a tool, not a thinker. It will help a farmer, like in our case, to solve a problem very fast and speedy. So the main argument here, or reason as to why computer will never reach that point of thinking like a human being. Because computer is just tied to algorithm. It just uses the sequence of the rules that it has been trained on. Like our leaf guard. When a farmer uploads the leaves, he will keep on analyzing and he take the pest and diseases affecting the leaf or crops, but it will not what? Go far beyond human thinking. Then just using it for predicting. Of course, you can just use this AI to predict, but it's doing it unaware. So it cannot share like farmers' emotions. So that is the main argument. Then also this one just school of thoughts, and we shall conclude. Still, we are referring to the previous philosopher, like the John Sleeth, where he said computer only follow the rules, not real thinking. And there is this philosopher, the Sophist, for him is said human knowledge is equivalent to experience and intuition, of which a computer does not have. That human reason or think basing on the experience he or she had in the past, and also the intuition, like ability to draw a conclusion unaware, but a computer cannot do this. Definitely computer or our leaf guard just remain a tool, but a human being will always be a thinker more than computer. Thank you, dear viewers. I hope you picked something so vital in this wonderful presentation. I call upon you to also add in more where you see a gap or need for improvement. because we are here to solve our problems. As software engineers, we look at a problem and we derive a possible mechanism for it. So I beg I to stop here. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. See you. Like and share.